In today's breaking news, House Leader and Trump lapdog Mike Johnson was just humiliated in front of the press by a Trump-appointed cabinet member, and I have all the spectacular and satisfying details for you next. If you follow politics, you know that everyone in Trump's inner circle sticks to his script. If he calls protesters terrorists, so do they. If he says blame Democrats for the shutdown, they obey. And if he says stop talking about releasing the Epstein files, they zip it. But today, a cabinet member that he appointed broke from the herd and contradicted him while Mike Johnson looked on in stunned silence. Since Mike Johnson is the unwitting fool in this story, let's begin with some other things he said today that removes any doubt of his foolishness while in service to Donald Trump. In these clips, you'll see him obey and follow the script with regards to blaming Democrats. Watch as he accuses them of doing nothing, while of course he does nothing.
And what are the Democrats doing today? Where are the Democrats? Are they in the Senate today? No, they're out campaigning. While critical SNAP benefits run dry, the Democrats have skipped town. They've abandoned their post in the Senate, and the reason that's so important and noteworthy for the American people is the Senate is the only place where this can end. The last hope of reopening the government before millions of Americans go hungry. They've abandoned their post.
And next he talks about a coalition of 25 Democrat-run states that are suing the Trump administration to keep SNAP benefits flowing. Have a listen, and on the other side, the Secretary of Agriculture, who you see beside him, steps in and ruins his day.
I would just add to that, the Democrats are lying about that, and I think they know that. Some of the ones who are out saying it are actually attorneys. They can read the black letter law themselves. They've even filed a lawsuit, you saw, to try to do it. Why? Because they wanted a talking point. They know that's a frivolous piece of litigation. They know they're going to lose, but they also know it'll take many weeks or months to have that ultimately determined by a court because of the way the justice system works. So they're using it as a talking point to try to claim. I believe they know for a fact that what they filed in the court is false. You know, they're lawmakers. They're supposed to know how the law works. And so the whole thing is just shameful. And they're using the people as pawns in this game. That underlying fund that the Secretary just addressed was unfunded by the Democrats themselves when they voted against the CR.
Imagine you work for Donald Trump and you have the gall to call the other side liars. Folks, this is the upside-down reality we live in. But one person who is not a liar, at least on this day, is Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, a Trump appointee. Watch as she apparently loses situational awareness, forgets the Trump talking points, and speaks honestly with Speaker Johnson at her side.
And so what do you say to the millions of people who stand to lose their food stamp benefits? What should they do?
My message to America is first, the fact that your government is failing you right now.
Actually, when you talk about SNAP, you're talking about largely Democrats. But I'm president. I want to help everybody. I want to help Democrats and Republicans. But when you're talking about SNAP, if you look, it's largely Democrats. They're hurting their own people. Thank you very much, everybody.
And to lose their food stamp benefits, what should they do?
My message to America is first, the fact that your government is failing you right now. That poverty is not red or blue. It is not a Republican or Democrat issue. It doesn't matter who you voted for or even if you voted. That if you are in a position where you can't feed your family and you're relying on that $187 a month for an average family in the SNAP program,
it's their fault. Everything is their fault.
we have failed you. We have failed you.
And then, as if an announcement was made, Mike Johnson, we have a cleanup on aisle 47. He threw himself between Rollins and the microphone, trying to mop up the mess.
And it's clarifying. When she says we have failed you, she means we, the Democrats, okay? Because as we've just explained, Republicans have voted 14 times to get this done.
Donald Trump is the architect of this shutdown, and Mike Johnson is the lackey who carries the plans in his lunch pail. Johnson isn't leading the House, he's following Trump's commands. Instead of asking himself, how can I best serve the people each day, he asked, how can I serve the Donald today? Being a puppet to that master has to be a lowly and unfulfilling existence. Trump did not shut down the government in the interest of America. He's using desperation and hunger as leverage, and he's weaponizing pain to force Democrats into submission. Millions of families are about to lose their grocery money while Trump keeps his power-mongering machine well fed. And in just a few hours, many of those people under those red caps are going to find out if you're not part of his donor class, you are now 100% dispensable.